We have what's called a utility turkey here, and to be perfectly honest, I don't really like the word utility when it's related to food that I'm going to eat, but for our purposes here, utility is alright, and it's cheap. I would prefer much rather to find myself a very good source of organic turkey, and that can be extraordinarily inexpensive also. And the thing with turkey, it's only sold a couple of times throughout the year en masse, and so depending on how the farmers and everybody forecast, you can get some wild swings in the price either before or after the big turkey seasons like Thanksgiving and Christmas and Easter or whatever else. Once they've passed or just before they arrive, sometimes you get wild price fluctuations and you can get some very good quality turkey for quite a low price, like $1.50 a pound, and I've even seen it shockingly as low as 55 cents a pound for naturally raised turkey, frozen however. But for our purposes here, and what we're going to be doing with this turkey in this 4-part series of videos is we're going to be brining and then smoking this turkey. And I'm of the opinion that turkey cooks very differently throughout the different parts. And what I mean by that is the wings cook completely differently than the legs, which cook completely differently from the breasts, and the breasts to the wings also. So nothing on this thing cooks the same way, and I feel that it needs to pretty much always be broken down to be prepared well. So moving along, what I've done here on the butchery side is I've made a slice through the skin right down the backbone, right down the center of the backbone, and I've run my knife underneath the skin just to take the skin away from the bone and the flesh of the back, because what I want to do is take off these legs, the full thigh and leg in one fell swoop, and maintain the size of that piece of skin on the back, because what I want to do is pull that entire piece of skin, turkey skin, off of the thigh and leg, and then debone the thigh and leg, and then once I've deboned and removed the tendons from the thigh and the leg, I'm going to roll it and then put that skin, which I've reserved, back on top of it. You'll see what I mean. It'll be like a sausage casing, if you can imagine that, and you'll see, because what I want to do is tie it and then smoke it. I want to have the skin on the outside because that's all fat, and that fat adds flavor, and also it's going to protect the flesh from the smoking process. It's going to protect it from drying out. So you'll see what I mean. Now I've broken this leg right down to the joint, and I've just dislocated it. I'm going to run my knife through the joint. You can hear that this turkey is slightly frozen still. It's not completely frozen, but some areas are a little bit tough to get the knife through. But to be perfectly honest, sometimes for novice butchers, slightly frozen meat or extremely cold meat is easier to work with, because when you get something that's warmed up to room temperature, it becomes more pliable, and then it moves around a little bit more. And I'm talking centimeters and millimeters, but it can make the difference between different levels of efficiency. So here we are. You see all that excess skin. Later we're going to remove that in the next video. So now I rip off that whole front piece of the backbone. I don't want it, I don't need it. I'm going to put it in my turkey stock, along with all the bones that I removed from this turkey. They're all going into a turkey stock. And for this particular turkey stock, I'm going to be pretty lazy. I'm not even going to put any vegetables in it. All I'm going to do is put the turkey carcass. I'm prying those wings apart so I can get at it. A little bit of practice, you get quite proficient at finding the very center of these joints. You can run your knife right through them. It's almost as if there's no resistance whatsoever. You know exactly where the two pieces of cartilage meet, and your knife flies right between them. Here I'm removing the breast. Trying to. The breast is moving around a little bit more than the thigh joints of the thigh area did. It's thawed more, and perhaps the knife is a little dull, but we're still getting it through there. You see, I'm just to the side of this center piece of cartilage that runs down between the two breasts. I'll run my knife just to the side of that, and I'll all the way down to the rib cage. I don't want to puncture the rib cage though, because I'm going to have all sorts of difficulty. And then now at the back of the bird, or sorry, towards the wings I should say, I'm going to come up on the wishbone. Oh, you see there's that package of innards that they give you with the turkey. The heart and kidney, I suppose, liver maybe. Not interested in that for this utility bird whatsoever. But I wouldn't discourage anyone from using those pieces. I'm running my knife along the wishbone, and I'm just having to pry it away, the breast away a little bit from the rib cage, because it is a little bit frozen still. And that's what I'm doing right now, is running my knife along the rib cage. And now I've come to the wing joint, and I'll run my knife right between the two pieces of cartilage of the wing joint. This is a bit of a frustrating wing joint, I'm not going to lie to you. Now we've got it off. You see how much skin is attached there. We're actually going to tie these two breasts together also when we smoke them, just for the sake of efficiency. It's one less thing to pull out of the smoker, and also white meat is more prone to drying out. There's less fat in it, and so by tying these two breasts together on the flesh side and leaving only the skin being exposed to the smoke and the outside air, we're going to retain much more moisture than we would if we were to leave that flesh exposed to the smoke and the air. And I think the same goes to a degree when searing these chicken breasts, because again, if you once you sear that side, that skinless side, you're drawing it out, and there's really no turning back. So, as I've shown in other videos on this channel, one in particular, searing chicken breasts, you'll see that I don't sear the breasts on the flesh side for very long at all. I hate that crusty, really hard, really dark and caramelized chicken breast flesh. So you'll see in my video how to sear a chicken breast that I spend the majority of the time on the skin side rendering out the fat, and then I flip it for only a short while. We're done.